Hello, listeners. Thank you for tuning in. I am so happy to have you all here. Let's get started. You know, I'm covering designing your day today, and I'm going to give you top 5 points that truly will help you have a fabulous day. So let's begin. The first one that I want to speak to you about today is really dividing your day into three parts. One I call prep. Second, I call delivery. And third, I call rest. So, know in the day which portion of the day are you going to be spending time prepping yourselves for all that is expected out of you in the day. So, having a strong morning routine or doing your rituals, when is that going to be the time when you are going to be setting your intentions for the day? The second period is when you're pretty much answering your emails, phone calls, everything that other people need from you, any commitments that you've made. This is the whole portion which covers your deliverables. And last but not the least, very important is to have downtime. So I always say this, that you know what, you must create downtime within your day. Sometimes we just go, hustle, 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 hustle. And what that can land up doing is making us feel fatigued, exhausted. So many of us by lunch feel like we're done for the day. That's because we are not managing our energy. And that's where I will move into point number two. What is point number two? Tracking your energy. Very, very important. All of us have times in the day when we are full of energy. For some people, it's the morning slot 10 to 12. For some people, it is after lunch, post lunch rather, 4 to 6. For some people, they're night owls. It really works for them. When everybody goes to sleep, 10 o'clock is when they really wake up to the idea of becoming productive, creative, useful. So, knowing which are the batches that truly yours works best for you is very important. Also, knowing which are your downtimes. Like for me, after lunch, 1 hour, I like to keep a gap because I know that's the time my brain is resting because my stomach is digesting the food that I would have just eaten. So, things like that, the more you understand the flow of your own personal energy, which is different for different people, the more you will realize that, just having this understanding will improve your efficiency in such a fabulous, beautiful manner. The third thing, always for me, which is really important, is what do you do in the first 2 hours of waking up? How do you start your day? What are all your rituals and routines? I had heard Hal Elrod speak about savers is a beautiful way of creating your morning routine. Savers basically stands for S for silence. So spend some time really with yourself, in contemplation, in reflection, in meditation, whatever you want to call it, but it's basically me time. The earlier it is in the morning, the better that works. Then, of course, affirmations. You see, our mind loves playing games with us and loves warning us with all that can go wrong. So, if we can create a counter reply to it through our affirmations by really saying, I'm excited about today, I'm going to really enjoy delivering that particular activity, I'm going to love interacting with my parents, I'm going to make sure I spend quality time with the babies, whatever it is for you. I think doing your affirmations in the morning where you're truly setting intentions through that works beautifully. Then sitting and visualizing those affirmations really makes it even stronger. So SAV. So we are in savers, we've come to V, which is visualizing. I think spending some time in creating your future on a daily basis rather than spending most of our time in the past. We tend to land up spending more time in our past rethinking all of those emotions and feelings that are created by others rather than spending time with ourselves, which is basically us starting to focus on where is it I want to go, what is the clarity I need, what am I going to achieve this week, this month, this year. The more we know where we are going, the better we can create our life. E is for exercise. Of course, exercising, all of us know, give 1 hour to your body and it will give you 23 hours in return. So, best is to come up with some format, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever works best for you. But movement is a very essential part of your morning routine because it honestly awakens the chemicals that are required for you to go about your day in your most prime manner. Then, of course, after E is R, reading. Reading is basically the input that you're going to put in. So for me these days, reading, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, anything that is good source of positivity, any of that works beautifully. So I'm going to replace reading with all of the positivity that you can put within yourself. Reading is one of them, and of course one of the best ways. And the last S is scribing. Scribing is like journaling. You just writing out, like I call it the one page dump, because you know what, it's just you writing out that one page of how you're feeling that day, or anything that's coming up or showing up for you, and you release it. This sort of a morning routine savors: S for silence, A for affirmation, V for visualization, E for exercise, R for reading, and S for scribing, will really give you a very solid start to your day. Then, of course, during the day, how are you? One of the things I have learned in my life is to transition from one activity to another in the most amazing manner. So, the number fourth point that I would talk about to you today would be transitions. Transitions, if you can make your transitions intentional, I feel like that works like magic in our life. Now, what do I mean when I say this? I have a very simple philosophy which I call GRI. Let me share with you what GRI stands for. G stands for gratitude. So whenever I finish any activity, I like to give that activity gratitude, that I'm grateful I was able to finish it. I'm grateful it happened so wonderfully. I'm grateful, whatever, one positive sentence to release the tension around that particular activity. The R is for release, which is just deep breathing. You just do 3 deep breaths. That's basically like a ritual to close whatever it is you had started. So, one, gratitude, 3 deep breaths, which help you release or disconnect or detach yourself with that was occupying you, and setting intention for the next thing. Now, I can tell you there are men who come back from work, and on their way back in the car, they will stop maybe 3 steps, 3 yards away from their gate, only to be able to do this. Okay, fine, I'm very grateful for the day, I'm glad the meeting went off really well. Take in 3 deep breaths, get really present in the moment, and set intention that now when I get through that door, I want to be the best dad, the best husband. I want to show up really present for my family. And that way, what happens is we start to become extremely focused or concentrate on what is required of us in the next activity, rather than mindlessly moving from one to the other and trying to multitask so many things that eventually we start to lose our efficiency rather than gain it. And last but really important is recharge. Recharge is us being guilt free around resting. I feel like too many of us, especially right now in the world where, the masculine energy talks about hustle and hard work and achievements and results and goals and conversions and numbers. So, what's happened is that when we have to sit down with ourselves and do nothing, it looks or feels like it's unproductive. But the truth is that when your phone is actually charging, is it unproductive? No, it needs that for it to give you what you need, right? The same way we have to start to honor. I love to create something called the joy list. What are the things that give me joy? Going shopping gives me joy. Spending time with my friends, having coffee with them gives me joy. Getting a foot massage done gives me joy. Reading a book or watching a serial of my favorite actors gives me joy. So anything that really just helps me, take in my downtime in a manner where I'm not guilty. A lot of us, especially women, when we are with our kids, we are guilty about our work. When we are at work, we are guilty about our kids, and we forget that we too need to prioritize ourselves. So I'm going to ask everyone here to make a list of all your guilt free indulgences and own them, that after a day of hard work or after a super productive efficient day, you want to spend time doing that. And if anyone around you tends to make you feel like, why you wasting time, or why would you be doing that, let them know this is as important as what the day was. And I think once we have this complete picture of these 5 things in our daily routine, you will start to notice a different kind of commitment muscle, a different kind of discipline walking into your life. Procrastination will start to reduce. Generally, you will just start to feel better about yourself. Self esteem starts to go higher. Confidence starts to go higher, because the more we are in control of our day, the more we are in control of our week. The more we are in control of our week, the month, the year, and we never even realize when at the end of the year we've already ticked all of those resolutions and goals that we had set. But the most important thing is to bring it down to how to make every single day supremely awesome and amazing for yourself. I really hope you've benefited from these 5 points. I'd love to hear in the chat box below what it is that you found most useful.